Hello everyone, welcome back to my digital diaries. You're watching Frontend Developer course. This is third episode of Next.js and today we are going to discuss file-based routing. This is one of the most powerful and simple feature of Next.js. We will learn how folders and files automatically become routes, how dynamic routes works and how this make development faster and cleaner. So if you want to build scalable and well structured Next.js application, this video is for you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel and join our learning community. Let's get started with file-based routing in Next.js. What is routing? Let's first understand what routing actually means. Routing decides which page or a component should be shown when a user visits a specific URL. For example, when someone visits /about, the about page should open. When they visit /contact, the contact page should open. So basically, routing connects the URL in the browser to the correct page in your application. Without routing, users will not able to navigate between pages properly. Now, what makes Next.js routing special? Now, let's understand what makes Next.js routing powerful and different. File system based. Next.js routing is file system based. This means your folder and file structure automatically becomes your route structure. It's automatic, you don't need to manually configure the routes. There is no need for external libraries like React Router. Next.js provides routing out of the box. It is SEO friendly, search engines can easily understand your pages. Next.js supports server-side rendering and static site generation. This makes your application fast and optimized. And here is the most important line, your folder structure becomes your URL structure. If you understand this clearly, you understand the core concept of Next.js routing. In this section, we are going to understand the types of routes in Next.js. The first is static route. It's a fixed path. So static routes are the simpler type of routes. They have a fixed URL path. For example, here, if you go to this one, page.tsx under app score, okay, or maybe here help/page.tsx or here page.tsx. So if you look at the folder structure, inside the folder app/page.tsx, app/about.page.tsx, which will indicate /about, app/help/page.tsx, which will give you /help. This means the folder names becomes the URL path, the page.tsx file becomes the actual page. There is nothing dynamic here, the path is fixed and predictable. So whenever someone visits about Next.js automatically renders the about page. That's why we call it as a static route, a fixed path, and this is the foundation of a routing in Next.js. Then we have a nested routes. So inside folders create nested URLs. So here nested routes allows you to create a URL hierarchy using folder inside folder. So if you see the dashboard, so we have a dashboard, settings and the profiles inside a dashboard. Okay, here profiles and settings are inside the dashboard folder, so the URL automatically become nested. This is extremely useful when building dashboards, admin panels, user profile section, multi-level pages. The structure stays clean and organized. This makes a large application very easy to manage. Then the most important is one is the dynamic routes. Now the things get more powerful here. Dynamic routes are used when the part of the URL changes. For example, here you have a blog 1 to blog/2 like that pages. So here the number changes. Inside the folder structure we create app/blog and in square bracket id/page.tsx. The square bracket is very important. This tells Next.js that id is dynamic. So blog/1, blog/5, blog/abc all will be handled by the same page. Inside the page, we can access that ID and fetch data accordingly. Square bracket means a dynamic segment here. This is commonly used for blog details, product pages, user profile, article pages. Dynamic routing makes applications scalable and data driven. After that, we have a very good functionality in React, that is API. So it helps you to include the backend functionality inside the same project. So Next.js allows you to create a backend APIs inside same project. So you can have API hello route.ts, test route.ts. Here, if for hello API/hello, you will create API hello folder and route folder like this structure. Here, instead of page.tsx, we use route.ts. These fields handle HTTP requests like get, post, put, delete. So instead of creating separate backend project, you can build API inside the Next.js itself. This makes Next.js a full stack framework. You can fetch data, handle forms, connect to database, build authentication, all inside the same project, which is very powerful and very clean. So this case, API/test will be and API/hello will be the API routes. Now we will move to the last one bit advanced one, that is catch all routes. Catch all routes are used when there are multiple dynamic segments like API/product/A, API/product/A/B like this. So in this case, slug is used here. If you notice that 3 dot here inside a square bracket, 3 dot and the slug, it's capture all segments after this point. So you can have product/A, product/A/B or B/C. All are handled by this single rule. Then if you talk about the another one, optional catch route, it's similar, just that if you see the structure here, the square bracket, 2 square bracket and then slug. And here also it's similar kind of routing is there. The difference here is the catch all requires at least one segment, whereas optional catch all works even if there is a no segment exists. This is very useful, like category hierarchy, documentation path, multi-level navigation. All these cases catch all routes are used, especially for documentation. The optional catch all also catch all route also used. These are very important for our documentations, filters and optional parameters kind of a structure. So these are all the different types of routes in Next.js. We are going to see these in the demo, okay, at the end of this video. Okay, so before moving that, we will see one more concept for the routing, and that is the link component and useRouter hook. Now we will learn how to navigate between pages using link component and useRoute. In Next.js, we use the link component for navigation between the pages. We import the link from Next/link library. Now let's understand why we use a link instead of a normal anchor tag. When we use a link component, navigation happens on the client side. That means the page does not fully reload, only the required part of the pages updates. This makes the user experience smooth. Because there is no full page reload, transitions are much faster. The app feels like a single page application. Prepaging pages. Next.js automatically prepage pages in the background. That means when a link is visible on the screen, Next.js prepares that page in advance. So when the user clicks, it loads almost instantly. Better performance. All these features together improves the performance. So always remember, in Next.js, use link, not a normal anchor tag for internal navigation. Now let's talk about useRoute hook. Sometimes we don't want navigation through a button click using link. Sometimes we want navigation programmatically. For that, we use useRouter hook. We import it from the Next navigation library. And now let's see what we can do with it. With useRouter, we can access router parameters. For example, in dynamic route like /block/1. We can get the ID value and use it inside the component. This is very useful for fetching data. Navigate programmatically. We can also navigate programmatically, for example, after form submission, or maybe after logging, after clicking a custom button, we can write a router.push and the name of that page. It will redirect the user. We can also use to redirect user based on the condition. If the user is not logged in, redirect to login page, or after successful payment, redirect to success page. This gives us full control over navigation. Alright, now it's time to see all the concepts which we have discussed in this video practically. So let's have a demo. Okay, let's see the demo of routing. So if you remember in last our demo, we have created this application. So I have kept the same thing here. Now I have added few things. If I want to access about page /about, if I open, it opens the about page. And if I say help, it opens the help page. So here I have used static routes. So let's see how I have created that. In our application app node, I have created about folder. If you see, this is about folder, and inside that page.tsx, I have added a code here, and this is how the about page is open. So if I click select about, so it get linked to app about page.tsx. Okay, so similarly help will work. So for help, we have this help folder. Inside that page.tsx, this is our help folder, and our domain and the home page is this one. Okay, so this is how static route works. You do not have to do anything. It by default it works based on how you have created your files and folders. So this is file based routing with the static routes. Now for a nested routes, I have created a dashboard page here. If you see here dashboard, inside a dashboard I have added page.tsx. So if I say /dashboard, it should execute this one. Inside a dashboard I have two more pages, admin and report. So dashboard/admin, it will link to this page. Dashboard/report, it will link to this page. So let's see that. If I say dashboard, so dashboard page opens. If I say dashboard/admin, it will open admin page, and if I say report, it will open report page. Okay, and I also used here the two components which we have discussed. One is the link component and another is the useRouter, the hook. Okay, so let's see that how it works. So in page dashboard page.tsx, if you see here, I have used the link and useRouter. So link is used instead of anchor tag. So if you go here in this line number 21, if you see, I want to redirect the user to admin. I want to give a link. So here I can also use anchor tag, but instead of that, I use a link. I have imported that from this library, and /dashboard/admin, it will work. Okay. Similarly, if you want to do a programmatically, so button click here, I have used the useRouter. Okay. So useRouter is hook here. So this hook router.push will redirect the user. On click of router.push, will redirect to the user. So here it should be dashboard admin. Okay, so dashboard admin will move, and then here the dashboard/report. Okay, so if I go back to the dashboard page, this is my dashboard page. Here I have used a link. So if I go click on admin, it will go here, and then back to the dashboard. To go to report, back to the dashboard, this will move to the admin, this will go to the report. So this is a simple use of a link component and the useRouter. Okay, so this is your link component router and the nested routing. Now the next one is the API route. So I have created few API here. So if I go the API, this is the API folder I have created. Inside that hello, and then route.ts. If you see, it's a .ts. This is a get function. Okay, so if I say hello, it should give hello from app router API. And then I have created the login route.ts, but this is actually a post method, so we will not able to access it from the browser. We have to post the data for this to access this, so you can test it from postman. But for now, just remember that we can do any kind of functionality in the API. So let's see how it works. If I say API /hello, it will route to the hello API and it is sending a message hello from app router API. Okay, so this is a simple API. I have created a separate app for a dynamic router cache all route demo. I will show you that, but before going to there, please remember these things: the dynamic routes, the catch all route and catch all route will work in next version 15.3. so make sure that you have that version. So let me go to that app. Okay, this is the one, and here I have created a vehicle folder. Inside that, if you see, square bracket id folder, and inside the page.tsx. In page.tsx, I have taken a params here, and I am using the TypeScript. So params id is equal to string, and then I am printing this id. So now if I want to access the pages, the vehicles, that will be vehicle / whatever the thing. So if I say vehicle, so if I go here and I say, let's go to the first demo, and then here I say vehicle bike. So if you see, you are using a vehicle bike. So if I go back here, params.id. Okay, your vehicle bike. So now instead of bike, if I want to display say car, it will show car, truck. Okay, so this is dynamically rendering this page. So this is how it works. This is called dynamic route. Now cache all routes and optional cache all routes, that also I have done here. So for docs, here you see 3 dot and slug. Okay, and then page.tsx. Okay, and we will see a segments here. Now if I go here and say docs/a, it will give you first segment. Okay, if I didn't give this, it will give you 4 not 4 error. Okay, and now if I say a/b, give you b. Okay, if I say c, it will give you segments. Okay, so this is your cache all routes. And for optional cache all routes, you see a double square and the slug. Okay, and the page.tsx. Okay, let's see this one also. This is a block. See the difference here. There is no segment, but still this page has open. But if you see the docs, just docs, it will give you an error. So that is the difference between optional and the cache all. So blog/a, it will give you 2 segment, a comma b, you say d. So this is how the cache all will work. So I'm not going in the code here because that's not the motive of this demo. It's how the page folder and the structure works. Alright, that's it for today's episode in our Next.js series on My Digital Diaries. I hope you clearly understood the concept and feel more confident building your Next.js application. If this video added a value to your learning phase, please like this video, share it with your friends and colleagues. Subscribe to the channel for more practical front-end content, and don't forget to join our learning community as we grow together step by step. See you in the next episode. Thank you.